I just wanted to offer a couple of thoughts about using X-Acto knives to cut any of our model making material. Here's how we are going to cut, for example, a 2-inch square out of Bristol board. I'm going to start by measuring my square. I'm not going to draw a line. I'm just going to make 2 tick marks, measuring from the end, remembering that my ruler doesn't start at 0. My ruler starts inside of 0, so I really want to start at my 0 mark. Then, instead of drawing a line here, I'm simply going to lay my ruler along my tick marks and then use my X-Acto. When I cut, I'm going to make 3 passes at a minimum. The first pass, called the scoring pass, just barely cuts the top surface of the model making medium. The second pass cuts a little bit deeper, and it's the third pass that cuts all the way through. That's going to ensure a nice clean cut every single time. It's also going to give you the ability to fold materials like Bristol board in a way that you can't if you don't do a scoring cut. So for example, if I wanted to fold this piece of Bristol 1 inch from the end, and again 2 inches from the end, I would make my marks, and now we're just going to do a little experiment. I'm going to do a scoring cut at 2 inches from the end, which, remember, is a very light pass. I'm barely pushing down at all. Now I'm not going to do a cut 1 inch from the end, and let's see what that fold looks like. If I just try to fold this, I can get an okay fold, but you can see that it's got wrinkles, it's got a slight radius, it's not a very good fold. But where I've made my score, I get a nice, clean, tight, rectangular fold. You see the difference? See how that is not a very precise fold. This is a nice, precise fold right along that scoring cut. So anytime I want to cut any medium, any model making medium, I'm going to measure first. By making 2 very small tick marks. I don't want to put a lot of graphite on the paper because I don't want it to smudge. So very small tick marks. Then I'm going to lay my ruler down along those tick marks. And I'm going to do a scoring cut, a medium cut. Oh, and in that case, I was bearing down too hard. But you see I get a nice, clean, precise square. Now, the thicker our model making medium goes, the more careful I have to be. So if I'm using, for example, 1/4 inch foam core, once again, I'm going to make my tick marks, but I'm absolutely going to do a scoring cut to establish the cut. This will probably take 5 passes. That went through some of the foam. That went deeper in the foam. That went all the way to the paper on the other side. And now this will finish the cut. Oh, not quite. One more. There we go. And in that way, I get a nice, clean cut on my foam core. Now this blade is starting to get dull, and I probably want to dispose of it. And I'm going to dispose of that in some kind of sharps container. I'm not going to throw it directly into the trash. I'm going to use an old water bottle, or I'm going to use one of the sharps disposal containers on the floor.